Lock your doors. Turn down the lights. Because what you're about to hear isn't fiction. These are real encounters, pulled from police reports, whispered in old towns, etched into the memories of those who lived them. Terror so chilling, even investigators walked away shaken. This is the most unbelievable true horror encounters of all time. Encounter 1, The Vanishing at Ravenwood Motel. It began on a rain-soaked night in 1979. A family of 4 pulled off the highway and checked into the Ravenwood Motel, a rundown roadside stop in rural Kentucky. The father, Robert McKinley, signed the ledger for room 6. The clerk, an old man with pale eyes, barely looked up as he slid over the key. His only words were, "Don't leave the window open." The family thought nothing of it. They were tired, the rain was pouring, and the neon sign outside buzzed like an insect trapped in glass. But by morning, only their car remained. The room was found perfectly in order. Luggage neatly packed. Beds untouched. No sign of struggle. No sign of escape. Except the bathroom mirror. It was fogged over, as though someone had just stepped out of a hot shower. Written into the mist with a finger, the words, "She's here." In the weeks that followed, police dismissed it as a runaway case. But within the year, 2 more guests vanished from the same room. Couples. Travelers. Each time, belongings left behind, doors locked from the inside, and that same eerie condensation on the mirror. Finally, a deputy volunteered to spend the night inside room 6. His name was Deputy Carl Harris. A skeptic. He joked with his colleagues that he'd prove it was all town gossip and draft a full report in the morning. But the morning came, and Deputy Harris was found standing in the shower, water pouring over his uniform. His eyes wide open. His lips trembling. And when they pulled him out, he whispered only 2 words before collapsing into silence. "She's here." The Ravenwood Motel was demolished in 1986. The ground paved over, weeds taking the land. But truckers still claim that on stormy nights, when lightning cuts across the sky, the neon vacancy sign flickers faintly in the distance, even though the building is long gone. And those who are reckless enough to follow that glow, say the air turns damp, mirrors fog, and whispers crawl through the walls. The Ravenwood Motel no longer exists. But room 6 refuses to die. Encounter 2, The Boy in the Mirror. Rural Kansas, 1974. A young widow named Margaret Allen browsed through an estate sale, picking up a large, ornate mirror. Its frame was carved with twisting vines and faces that seemed to leer at her the longer she stared. She placed it in her living room. Her 8-year-old son, Jacob, was the first to notice something strange. He began waving at the mirror, as if someone was waving back. "There's a boy in there," Jacob said with a smile. Margaret laughed it off at first. Children imagine things. But then, at night, she began hearing her son talking in whispers, his voice carrying a rhythm, a conversation. One morning, she found long red scratches across Jacob's arm. He swore it wasn't him. He said the boy wanted to play. Soon, objects began shifting in the house. Chairs dragged across the floor when no one was near. Doors creaked open by themselves. The mirror's surface sometimes rippled, like water disturbed. One night, Margaret woke to the sound of laughter echoing from the bathroom. She rushed in to find Jacob, face down in the tub, struggling, water splashing. She pulled him out, choking, gasping for breath. And when she turned toward the mirror, the fogged surface spelled out 3 chilling words. "Let him in." Margaret smashed the mirror with a hammer the next morning. But when she returned home after work, the shattered glass was gone. Police searched. Neighbors swore she never threw it away. To this day, that mirror has never been found. And Jacob, now an adult, says he still dreams of a boy tapping from the other side of the glass. Encounter 3, the Whistler in the Woods. In the Appalachian Mountains, hikers whisper about something that hunts by sound. They call it the Whistler. In 1995, a group of college friends camped deep in the hills. Around their fire, they first heard it, a whistle. Low. Human. Following a melody that wasn't quite right. At first, they thought it was another camper. But as the night stretched on, the sound moved. Sometimes ahead of them. Sometimes behind. Always circling. By dawn, one of the campers was gone. His tent slashed open. His boots left in place, as if he had simply walked barefoot into the forest. 2 days later, rescue crews found the missing student's backpack hanging high in a tree, 40 feet off the ground. The only other clue? A cassette tape recovered from a park ranger's recorder. On it, the faint crackle of leaves, the ranger's breathing, and then, clearly, the whistle. The ranger never returned from his patrol. Locals say if you ever hike the Appalachian woods and hear a tune whistled in the dark, do not answer it. Do not follow it. Because once it finds your rhythm, it never stops. Encounter 4, the Midnight Caller. Chicago, 1982. A young woman named Karen lived alone in a small apartment. Every night, at exactly 2:11 a.m., her phone rang. Each time, a man's voice whispered the same thing, "I'm still in your house." Terrified, Karen went to the police. They tapped her line. One night, the call came again, 2:11 sharp. When they traced the call, the result chilled every officer in the room. The calls weren't coming from outside. They were coming from Karen's basement. Police swarmed the apartment. They pried open the locked basement door. Inside, they found evidence of someone living there for weeks. A mattress. Cans of food. Hundreds of Polaroids of Karen sleeping, taken from only a few feet away. The intruder was never caught. Karen moved out the next morning. But neighbors still say that every night at 2:11 a.m., the phone line in that basement clicks once, like someone picking up. Encounter 5, the lights over Coldwater Lake. Minnesota, summer of 1983. Coldwater Lake was a quiet spot, popular with fishermen. Until the lights came. At first, they appeared as glowing orbs rising from the water, hovering silently above the surface. Then came the accidents. Boats capsized without warning. Fishermen pulled from the lake were covered in burns, but not from fire. Doctors described it as radiation exposure. Locals panicked. Rumors spread of government experiments. Years later, declassified documents revealed that federal agents had been dispatched to Coldwater Lake. Their files contained blurry photographs, and a chilling note: phenomenon remains unexplained. Area unstable. Do not engage. The lake is still there. But few dare to fish it. One survivor, now in his 60s, lives in silence. He refuses to go near any body of water. His only words on record were these: "They wanted us under." And whenever locals see those strange glowing lights, they turn away, pretending the lake is nothing but water. But those who look too long, sometimes don't come back. These are not tales pulled from movies. They are fragments of truth, pieced together from police reports, eyewitness testimony, and whispered warnings passed down through generations. The Ravenwood Motel. The Boy in the Mirror. The Whistler in the Woods. The Midnight Caller. The Lights of Coldwater Lake. 5 encounters that blur the line between the living and the impossible. What connects them? The unknown. The shadows we cannot explain. The moments when reality itself bends into nightmare. And perhaps the most terrifying truth of all, is that these stories are not finished. The Ravenwood sign still flickers. The mirror has never been found. The Whistler still echoes in the mountains. The phone line still clicks at 2:11. The lake still glows.